Okay, so this is the last video to the Warden Heavy Attack 1 bar build. Here I'm going to show a dummy parse and I'm going to talk about a lot of things I've already discussed, but unfortunately this video should have been the first, but it was actually the last video that I made. Reading the skills from left to right, we start with Screaming Cliff Racer, a spammable that you can use in between heavy attacks, and it does also knock enemies off balance and increases your weapon and spell damage. Next is Sabbatarian Assault. This just does massive AoE damage. It is poison, so it can proc the poison status effect. Anytime you use the Cliff Racer, you're going to get healed because of this passive, and also you're going to have a lot of other heals going on, so the Warden 1 bar heavy attack build that we're using does have massive healing for itself. So if I use the Cliff Racer, you'll see right there I get healed, and then I use it again, and I get healed, and I just keep using it. So this is the controversial part about the build. I do use 5 pieces of light armor so I can take advantage of the skill Annulment in the light armor, which gives me a damage shield, which becomes dampened magic. And then also I do want the passive to increase my penetration, as I run with a lot of teams who don't use Alkosh, and they're usually not ideal teams. As you can see in the series of the 1 bar heavy attack build, a lot of the content I do is with randoms. So I do use Lotus Blossom, and what this does is anytime I perform a light attack or I successfully complete a heavy attack, which we always do, we're going to heal ourselves and also the team. I mainly have this to heal myself, not so much the team, but that's an added bonus for it. I really love this spell. It's really good to have inside the kit. But if you take this and you add it to the passive for when we use the Cliff Racer, we're getting tons of heals. We're getting heals for our heavy attacks, we're getting heals for our animal spells, a lot of healing going on. Last on our list is from the Winter's Embrace skill line, and this is Arctic Blast. This is going to be our emergency burst heal, and also it can stun enemies who are not immune to snares and stuns. And then lastly, this spell right here drops a tick that can give enemies the chilled status effect. So it does do damage. So the gears will be at the end of the video. I'm not going to go into details on that. There's a lot of heavy attack builds that you can follow that talk about those gears and what's better and what's not better and stuff like that. If you're using this build or something similar to this build and you're debating which spammable you should use in between heavy attacks, or if you should use light armor or medium armor, then if you're thinking at that level of complexity, then you should probably consider just doing a 2 bar build and maybe be like a EC Necro or a Zen's DK or Brit Den. Because essentially, like, the thing with the 1 bar builds is they're kind of selfish builds as it stand right now. Most of the meta builds are pretty selfish, and if you're thinking to the level of optimization and complexity of that, then you should probably just get a support DPS build that's hitting like 100k, and that's probably gonna be way more optimized. So I wouldn't make a build like this and think to that level of complexity. Essentially, it should be simple, it should be fun. It shouldn't be trying to optimize a dummy test. It should be trying to optimize simplicity and fun for the game.